Baldy, have the Jets asked for your input yet on who they should hire as the next GM head coach combination?
They have not. I have not. I've sort of, been texting back and forth with certain people. So obviously Rex is out there campaigning pretty strong for the position. I don't think that would be wrong to bring Rex back. He understands that building and the owner as well as anybody. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, they had some success with Rex there. Who knows?
Don't you think it's kind of embarrassing the way Rex is begging for this job?
Well, I don't think he's, being interviewed or offered or talked about any other place. He's been here before. He took a team to an AFC championship game with the rookie quarterback. He kind of knows how to do it. I think he misses coaching, and it's right in his backyard. So I don't know if it's embarrassing or not. I just think he wants Woody to know that if you're going to conduct a search, maybe you should bring me back in and let me tell you what my plans are.
Yeah, no, and by the way, Baldy, I'm okay with that, but I think there's a time and a place for it. Like, so he's with ESPN. I know some of his colleagues have fairly popular pods, whether it's Shannon or Ryan Clark. I mean, listen, if you're on a podcast and you're having a couple of drinks and the Jets come up and you start touting yourself, that's one thing. He's going on TV every single day, and he's telling us, be a Jet, I'm a Jet. To me, it's just, and I get it, and I appreciate his enthusiasm. And aside from knowing defense, his second best trait is selling himself, but it just comes across. We've crossed the line of desperation. We get it, Rex.
Well, he's got a platform, and nobody else out there that, as a candidate has a platform like that. So he's taking advantage of it. I don't think it's shameless. I don't know how attractive the job is to a lot of people. And I don't know who's out there. I don't know the search committee. I mean, whether it's Tannenbaum or the 33rd team or, whoever's going to try and help Woody out, or, if it's, the guys that Phil Savage, whoever. Like, I don't know, how attractive it's going to be to maybe some, last year Jim Harbaugh was out there and he wasn't really campaigning, but everybody knew he wanted to leave. He got himself into a good situation. He's turned a terrible situation around into a really good one. Is it Gruden? Is it Belichick? Obviously, is going to be interested in his job just from past history. But, who are the guys out there that could come in here and juice up the fan base and get these guys, because there's a lot of talent in that locker room. Who's out there that could do it right now besides Rex?
Well, what are we looking at with Rodgers, Baldy? We're talking about Brian Baldinger. You want him back? I mean, it sounds like the Jets don't want him back. What would you do if you're the Jets with Aaron Rodgers going into next year?
I think we've seen the age and the coming back from the Achilles. I don't think he's going to look any better next year after this year that he's gone through. He's not going to get any younger. It's a young man's game. And so I would look elsewhere right now after what I've seen so far this year.
Yeah, I've said the same thing, Baldy. Can you do us a favor? Can you lift up the curtain? Because we say it, but it's hard to substantiate, though there's been some stories this week, but it's just generally assumed that Woody is very hard to work with. And the record backs that up, and the constant shuffling of coaches and GMs, it's been a mess, right? So nobody thinks that Woody's good. But why are the Jets, off the record between, guys played in the NFL, whatever, why is the Jets situation viewed as so unattractive, specifically pertaining to the owner?
Just because, he's had a quick hook and they just haven't had stability. I mean, when was the last time they actually had the coach and the general manager come in together? I mean, Joe Douglas came in when Adam Gase was here, and then he had to conduct a coaching search, and, Saleh. And I don't know. I think that it's got to – you don't necessarily have to have a coach and a general manager that has a history together. We've seen that work, how that's going over with the Giants next door. But they don't necessarily – but they do have to be in agreement with the vision, how to build a team, how they're going to approach free agency. I think it's got to start with that, with just a commonality between a coach and a general manager to say the way Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch started together in San Francisco. And, they've been there for 8 years together now. So, I do think it's got to start with that approach.
What do you think, Baldy? You mentioned the Giants. What do you think's going on with there? You want Shane and Dable to be back? You think they, I don't want to say deserve, but would you give them another chance here to try to build this thing in a different way with a different quarterback moving forward?
That was a horrible performance on Sunday. And, another one of those performances like that, it's going to be hard because, Tampa Bay took them apart. And there's some weaknesses on that Tampa team that could not be exploited. And, they got a backup left tackle in there. I didn't see anybody beat them all day. Like, they destroyed that defensive line. Baker did whatever he wanted to do. And those two running backs are not great backs, but Rashad White, I didn't think, maybe Malik Neighbors might have been strong about it, what he said, but really the tape kind of backed it up. And that's an indictment on both of those guys, that they could not come and play any better than that against a team that had been reeling really bad for the past month.
Yeah, the Bucs had lost 4 straight games. And bigger picture here, Dable came in with an offensive background, Baldy, as you know, and the Giants' point per game average so far this year is the worst in 25 years. So I guess the question is, if the quarterback play was better, I know that the numbers will look better, but are you sure that Dable's the offensive innovator, genius, whatever he was labeled before he got hired by the Giants? Do you view him that way, or do those concepts look a little stale, a little predictable? What are you seeing on film with what they run?
Well, they had 18 plays in the first half. Not one play went to Malik Neighbors. They come out, they're down 23-0 at the half. They come out in the third quarter, and the first 3 plays are completions to Malik Neighbors. Why did it have to be down 23-0? Why do they have to wait to the start of the third quarter to feed their best player?
I have a question for you. I agree, but my question would be, and I didn't see the film to this extent, I don't know, was he double and maybe triple teamed when the game was in doubt, and when it was over they said let him catch a few from the Bucs perspective? I don't know. Did that change?
No.
Okay.
No. The Bucs are a zone team.
Right.
Jamel Dean's on one side, and I know they know who's out there. Malik Neighbors is I'm not going to say he's a very good talent. I don't want to throw bouquets at the kid. He's still just a rookie, but he's a really good player. And he showed it to start the third quarter. They've done this before, though, where they don't look like they know how to get their star receiver the ball. And if you're going to try and help out, a quarterback, in his second year here who's young, still young, but you're looking for a spark, you're looking for him to get the ball to your receiver, let him help you out. And to go 18 plays and not get him the ball, I didn't understand that at all.
BT and Sal on the Fan. We're talking with Brian Baldinger. Insider Calls are brought to you by Hellman's Real Mayonnaise. You can purchase Hellman's at your local Walmart, Kroger, or grocery store to add extra deliciousness and creamy flavor to your game day dishes this football season. What'd you see from DeVito, Baldy? I know he spent too much time on his back. He's actually dealing with a forearm issue. I'm reading now, so he's not 100% good to go yet for Thursday's game in Dallas on Thanksgiving. What'd you see from DeVito in that game?
I saw some things that I saw from a year ago. Vita Vea was collapsing the pocket every time he dropped back, and so he was getting flushed like he did last year. They ran the same stunt that the Saints ran against him for sacks last year. They ran the same stunt. They still don't look like they know how to pick it up. It's not all his fault, but I thought he could have been more accurate when he did get time, get receivers, moving targets, and I saw an issue there that showed up last year at times.
Hey, Baldy, is Saquon going to win the MVP?
He's my vote right now. I'm pretty close to that team in Philadelphia and the guys there. That performance in L.A. on prime time on a Monday night or Sunday night was about as good as it gets. He's probably going to lead the league in rushing, probably going to lead the league in touches and yards from scrimmage. I thought Christian McCaffrey should have won it last year. It doesn't look like they want to make a running back, but that team right now runs the ball 57% of the time, and he's the reason why, because he's just that good. And that's not a bad Ram team that he destroyed the other night.
No,
but that offensive line is really good. He's never seen runways like he saw 70 and 72-yard runs. He's doing things that we haven't really seen before, and that's his talent. And so It should be an award that goes to a talented player who's unbelievably productive with a great team. And they've won 7 in a row right now. They're probably the only team that can compete with Detroit in the NFC right now, the way that they're playing, and he's the reason why.
Who's his main competition right now? Josh Allen, number 2 or number 1, depending upon.
Josh will see San Francisco this week, and he's up there right now. Lamar Jackson had a great game last night.
Yeah, he did.
But he kind of shares the award of Baltimore with Derrick Henry. And then there's Jared Goff, who's got a team with the best record right now.
Okay.
Where do you think Daniel Jones ends up, Baldy?
I don't know. I really don't. Like, is there a reclamation project in San Francisco like they did with Sam Darnold? And he gets, 1 year to kind of learn what stability and a game planning and talent around him really looks like, because he doesn't know what that looks like since he's been to the Giants. But, we've seen Sam Darnold and Jared Goff and Baker Mayfield all get second chances, and they've all taken advantage of it. So I think somebody's going to reach out to him. I don't know where that's going to be right now.
Yep. Real quick here, Baldy, before I let you go, and I've said it a few times, some people feel it, some people don't. You're obviously of this generation, so you'll see where I'm going. I'm not saying it's going to be the same exact script and he's going to win an MVP, but I see some similarities with Rich Gannon and Daniel Jones. Athletes. Now, Rich, at the age of 37, won the MVP, and Rich, unlike Jones, was bouncing around first couple of years, the Chiefs, the Vikings, 1 or 2 other teams, very transient, couldn't stick. But there was intellect, there was toughness, and there was speed, and similar frames, though Jones might be a little bit bigger. Loosely based, do you buy that, or is that's just wacky?
Well, I don't think it's wacky. I mean, look, Daniel Jones has an issue processing and really getting the ball out on time and knowing what he's looking at. That shows up with whoever's calling the plays and behind whatever offensive line, whoever he's throwing to. Like, he doesn't do that on a consistent basis. Just see the field, process information, and get the ball out. He looks hesitant. Now, that can change if he trusted the system better, if he had better plays around him. Could he throw the ball with better anticipation and see the field better to find the open receiver? Like, that has to improve. Now, whether that happened to Rich Gannon, when he got a chance with the Raiders and Gruden, I'm not sure. But certainly a better, proven system and could help him out with better players around him.
Baldy, what do you got going on for Thanksgiving? You doing any of these games?
Yeah, well, I'm doing the post game at the NFL Network for the first 2 games, and the Cowboys game, obviously, and Giants, and then Detroit, and then the late game. I'm free, so we've got a bunch of family and stuff that I'm heading to.
What kind of spread are we looking at? NFL Network going to hook you up, or you're hosting a big spread for the night game? What are we looking at?
My girlfriend's family is taking care of all that.
Nice.
I don't really pay too much attention, but I know that there's going to be enough food left over for me when I get to the house.
If Big Dog starts barking, you better have that second plate waiting for him.
I love it.
No, so there's always 2. It's my favorite holiday of the year. We got food and football and family. Like, it really never gets any better than that.
It's pretty awesome.
Thank you, Baldy. We appreciate it. Enjoy the holiday.
Thanks, Bri.
Yeah, my pleasure, guys. You bet.
That was Odyssey NFL insider Brian Baldinger, host of the Best Football Show podcast. Insider Calls brought to you by Hellman's Real Mayonnaise. May your game day be delicious.
He's got to put a dent in that turkey.
He goes, my girlfriend's taking care of that. I'll show up. The food's going to be there. I don't worry about that.
Yeah.
We got to get on the Baldy plan, BT.
He's working that day. He's working. He's supposed to come home and cook, too. He's working.
I mean, sometimes in my house, he goes that way. I mean,
really?
My wife always reminds me. She said, you said it didn't matter if I could cook or not before we got married.
Ooh.
I said, you're right. But would it kill you to heat something up for me?
It's screaming about the lack of meatballs last week that you told me about. That was hysterical. It's funny. I don't cook often. When I do it, I really enjoy it. Really? Yeah, I put on some music, a little Billy Joel. What's that?
A little apron? You put on an apron to cook?
I'll put it on an apron. Apron.
All right.
No. Yeah. I'll put on maybe some Simon & Garfunkel, something nice, a little Billy, a little 70s, 80s Billy.
Hello, Darkness, my old friend. That's Simon & Garfunkel.
That's one of them. That's one of the popular ones. I'm talking some off-the-radar ones that I really love. But no, that's a great one, no doubt. And a little glass of vino, and I'll lean into it. Like I enjoy cutting the stuff up and sauce it. Oh, yeah.
I got no interest.
Sauce it. Really, to me, it's therapeutic.
I can't wait to go to my mother's house. Thursday, because she's my mother, my sister do all the cooking.
Don't get me wrong. My mom is 10 million times. My mom's the best cook in the world.
Right.
I mean, that's my opinion. I know a lot of people think that about their moms.
Right.
I absolutely believe that. And I mean, I can't shine her shoes with that. But she's actually on a cruise. She's in Germany with my dad for Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
They
Good
took
for
a
them.
little, check some boxes while they still can, God willing.
And
So
now you get to
we're
taste
fending
the
for
Dallas.
ourselves here.
Yeah.
Oh, the doubt. My father-in-law makes two.
Okay.
The conventional one, and then he sticks it in the what is that? The like the oil, but what do they call that? The deep fry.
Oh, deep fry.
Hey, we got two going.
I wouldn't mess with that
yeah.
myself.
Oh, that's good.
All right.